welcome back to the Jojitorium. We are decaying with the boys. It's so good to be back in the studio. We're here to bring you another great episode. Just want to let you guys know that March is coming to a close, but First Sip Brew Box is still ready to send you the beer swag that you need. Or you can get a gift for the craft beer nerd in your life. First Sip Brew Box teamed up with Free Will Brewing to bring you a unique mystery box of goodies. So head on over to firstsipbrewbox.com to order your mystery box or check out their store for more gear. And speaking of Free Will Brewing, they are now shipping to Pennsylvania, Virginia, and Washington, D.C. with free shipping orders on orders over $85. So head on over to freewillbrewing.com or .store, freewillbrewing.store for good brews and new merch. How you guys doing this morning?
Doing great. I love me some Free Will Brew.
Yeah, good stuff, man. I'm glad to see that they're coming,
nice people too.
Yeah, they're coming out our way now, so we can actually grab some of their stuff without traveling for a day to get a couple cans. What's up, buddy?
I'm super hungover. Last night was rough.
Josh decided to perform an inquisition on some noobs on Call of Duty. Was that what's happening?
Yeah, but it wasn't necessarily noobs. I was just playing with the normal group. We just did a free-for-all.
Yeah, and then you just decided, this is how I'm going to handle this and just get wrecked.
Yeah.
I joined for the last hour of my night, and they were playing like this custom free for all game where it was supposed to be knives only. And every time I panicked, I'd pull out my gun and just blast. Pop, 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 pop. I had no self control.
Well, to be fair, there was only 2 people running knives because we just wanted to destroy everybody else.
Were you guys like running around in circles by the time that they came? Like you were just hammered, so you like just kept leaning on the stick. And
No.
You were doing well.
First, second place every time.
Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah, he won. The last game I was on, he won it.
Well, you deserve to be hungover then, buddy. You really worked your ass off for that one.
I try.
So Josh is going to try to get hydrated while we go through all this. But just to let you guys know, I did bring a little something for us to sip on, and maybe it could be a little bit of the hair of the dog for old Joshy boy. So keeping with the same vein of bringing some local brews to your attention, it was my turn, so I decided to bring in some leaning cask. So today, for us to sip on, I did bring it's called Pardon My Frenchie. It's a New England style India. Sorry, I don't want to be insensitive.
The Indians are from India. So you're
They are. You're right. India Pale Ale. It's 6.5, so it's supposed to be pretty drinkable. And I actually went out there the other day and had a couple on draft, and it was fantastic. But a little background on. A little bit of background Leaning Cask here. They are located in Springdale, Pennsylvania. They are family owned and operated by a husband and wife duo, Josh and Stephanie Lipke. The reason why they have more of a pub feeling is they did go to England to visit some family, and they just basically destroyed the pub scene out there, and they wanted to bring what they loved back here to America. So when they came back, Josh started off as a home brewer, and he infused all those English and American style brewing techniques. It eventually came up to what we have now in front of us with Leaning Cask. And as you can tell, Pardon My Frenchie is for a French bulldog. They love dogs, and this is on full display with all their beers. So you actually have some beers, like the Sour Series, coming out. It's called Pedigree. You have a Golden Doodle British Golden Ale, a Mosaic Mastiff IPA, Dachshund Bock, Triple Bock, or Double Bock, Doppelbock. And my personal favorite, and I can say this without question, it is the Strawberry Wiggle Butt Sour Berliner Weiss made with strawberry and basil. Josh, I know you're looking at me like I'm crazy for that one, but I can tell you right now, I went out there and I had to call my wife to come get me.
It was one of my favorites. I had that the first time I went there with you, actually.
Yeah.
And it was great. We all got hammered on it.
Just phenomenal. And I couldn't believe... I'll try anything, but when I saw that it was strawberry and basil, this is going to be uniquely different, and I was not disappointed. It was fantastic.
I've had that flavor combination before, not from there.
Yeah, but
I've seen that out there before when I was in Virginia. The reason I was looking at you was just for the wiggle butt part.
Yeah. It's all puppies.
I know you like.
I will wiggle my butt
a little bit.
I like to wiggle my butt a lot, and I will wiggle my butt whenever I get a hold of some of the strawberry wiggle butt. I actually keep a close eye on their Instagram, and you can too by following them at Leaning Cask Brewing, and you can also head over to their website leaningcaskbrewing.com where you can check out their tap and can list, and they also have a food truck schedule. There's a food truck there every day that they're open.
I was just going to ask, are they?
Yeah.
Their tap or their seating's open. Their draft
Seating is open, and I'll tell you this right now too, man. The beautiful thing about this place is that it has a lot of outdoor seating. So when you go to this place, there's probably, I want to say, about 7 tables outside with 2 to 3 chairs at each one. And I was out there grabbing some tacos from the food truck and grabbing some brews from these guys. And I can tell you, man, I felt normal again for the first time in forever. Really good brews, great people. Everyone was very, very friendly, and dogs are welcome indoors too. So if you want to bring your pooch with you, just come on through, and they're gonna welcome you with open arms. And they want to talk to everybody. The owner talked to me for a couple moments, and just a sweet guy. And yeah, and so drinking this beer, I can tell you that there's a sweetness to it that I wasn't ready for a little bit there.
Yeah, that's why I went and grabbed the can to see there is milk sugar in it. Mm-hmm. Honey biscuit malt, oats, wheat. It's nice that they put all this on the can.
Yeah.
And then I get a real dank, like musky flavor from the hops,
there.
which is my favorite.
Yeah.
And that's cashmere and mostly Strata hops from my experience. Strata usually hits quite that way. I'm not super familiar with cashmere, other than I like most beers it's in. But I don't really know its identifying flavors.
I'll say for an IPA, it's pretty clean.
Yeah,
pretty
super,
crisp.
especially for a hazy.
Yeah,
you know, usually
when I poured it out,
yeah,
it looks like pineapple juice.
Yeah,
just chilling in my glass.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and that like bang of aroma you get off of it, I'm pretty sure most of these hops were probably late edition, like either end of the boil, late edition.
Yeah. They're super pronounced.
It's freaking good,
and I'm really, really enjoying it. And you know what? And I can say this, and I'm sorry, Leaning Cask. I think I'd had a beer that was much darker before I decided to grab this one, because I did not get these sweet notes when I was out there grabbing drafts off you. So I apologize, because I could have been raving about this beer a bit more. But I had one of their Cascade ales, and I don't want to say this wrong, but I think it's like Midnight Moo. It was so good, man. That was my first beer that I had when I went out there, and I think I chose wrongly. I went the reverse. I should have had these things first and then went to the dark beer.
Yeah.
So I didn't cancel out my taste buds. But
Yeah.
I thought the Mexican food would reset it.
That's how you do a flight.
I had chorizo.
But you weren't doing a flight. You were
I
doing
wasn't.
a flight of pints, weren't you?
I was doing a flight of pints.
That's the best kind of flight.
The wife was driving, so I was free to do as I pleased. She's a sweetheart for letting me get out there and try these things and talk to everybody. So again, if you guys want to learn more about Leaning Cask, again, follow them on Instagram at Leaning Cask Brewing on Instagram, or check out their online store, leaningcaskbrewing.com. And I think they just came out with new shirts, hats, stickers, all kinds of merch, and it's all like sea overseas influence. So a lot of it's kind of like nautical themed. It's really cool. Ooh, nice. It looks like retro stuff, and I dig that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm into the whole nautical theme of things.
Yeah.
Wonder why.
No. Because you were in the Navy?
But new merch out there?
Yeah, new merch out there. New merch in here.
Hey.
Yeah, baby. I just want to know, do you know what this sounds like to you? Oh, them stickers, baby.
Oh, I thought you unzipped your pants.
Oh, we got them stickers. So if you check out our Instagram right now, I put up a picture and a couple other things of these wonderful stickers I was able to purchase. And they are just... people want them, and I don't want to say I'm surprised by it, but I've been getting a lot of messages for these things. So there's not many of them. So if you want these things, you got to hit up our Instagram or our Facebook or message one of us personally. We have quite a few here. So if you want them, you just come get them. Daddy has them in his pocket. And just to let you guys know too, I'm looking for some other stuff for us to maybe push out there. Trying to bring some cool stuff to us, and maybe I'll have some more announcements later on.
Yeah, and I'm going to have a few of them left here at the Jojitorium for people picking up. So if you want one from me, just let me know.
Yeah, and that's whenever you come over here to get one of the delicious bash brews, ask for Decaying with the Boys sticker, and it'll accompany your bottles. Yum. I love when you stare at me, Josh. I know.
I'm just watching you talk.
I know. You ever like... whenever you're like publicly speaking, you know everyone's looking at you. You know someone's looking at you very intently.
Yeah.
Josh is that guy.
I just watch people when they talk.
I like it. Well, eye contact is dead these days, much like the ABCs.
He looks at you like I look at Eddie Kingston when he talks.
fucking ABCs.
Yeah, Josh brought to my attention before he came on here that much like math, the ABCs are dead. So I don't even know what to say right now. All I can say is like the way you said it for, I don't know, ever since, Pangea broke apart and we had continents.
Since cavemen were beating their women over the head with a club and
Yeah.
dragging them. Yeah.
Since they got rid of that alpha to omega shit.
So now instead of saying LMNP, you have to say LMN.
OPQ.
OPQ. I can't even do it. It hurts.
I honestly, saying it that way, I forget the
I
way
don't know where
that
to go
the letters
next.
are supposed to go.
Well, it's like when someone's like, say it backwards. Fuck you. I can't.
Yeah, I could get so far, but
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta practice. That was pre-Uber though. Once
Yeah.
Uber came out, I stopped giving a fuck.
Yeah. I can barely say my ABCs forward when I'm calling an Uber.
Apparently, you
Let
say it
alone
wrong now too.
Yeah, I do. And I'll continue to say it wrong until someone
Yeah.
forces me to say
It's
it
like the whole-
right way.
Math debate part thing in school now too. Like,
Don't get me started. There will be a future shotgun on new math.
yeah, like
Coming from an accountant.
Well, did you also see too? There was a CNN thing. There was like an interview with someone on CNN. They were like, "Yeah, math is just too concrete, and 2 + 2 does not equal 4 anymore. It can equal 5."
Yeah, that's racist.
Yeah,
Or sexist. I forget what
sexist or
she's
something.
saying.
And I'm like, you know what? And I'm all about it. I'm all about like inclusion and diversity and equity, and I like that. But math is legitimate logic and science. Like you can't. This is infallible science.
I've seen people use like in-depth calculus to prove that 1 + 1 does not equal 2. And when you watch them go through it, there's like a step or two that they're like, and this. Like they just do it real fast.
They're fudging it.
Because that it doesn't work that way. When I took my ethics class, that's one of those ones that you can come off the wall and just say whatever you want, and as long as you can back it up with an argument, you're good. But in math, it doesn't work that way.
So you can have a wrong argument in your ethics class and just argue it to you.
I proved that
Sounds like it was a political science class.
Yeah.
I proved that veganism is murder.
Why? Because you're killing grass and stuff.
Uh huh.
That's like the whole like
God, there's so much stuff I want to shotgun. Right
I know.
Vegans, new math.
Well, did you ever hear about the old the astrology thing? Like, oh, if you're a Gemini, this; if you're a Pisces, that. I don't subscribe to that either.
Astrology's on the list.
Astrology's on the list, but then like Kyle Kinane very quickly on one of his specials, he was like, but like humans are like over 80% water, and then the moon affects the tide, so whenever the moon's coming in at certain times of the year, that kind of makes more sense. And then he was like, never mind. And like he's like, I think I blacked out. He just goes on to something else. And I was like, I guess if you had some realistic argument for it, it could work. But I'm sorry, but there's no way I can explain. So let's just say this. Let's say I get hammered drunk and I'm trying to call my wife to come get me at the brewery that I'm at. Am I going to say, well, theoretically, I only had 10 beers, but realistically, I think I only had 3, but I'm just nervous.
I mean,
does she have to buy that?
You could say that.
But how do I prove it?
Because you're sleeping on the couch.
Because 1 + 1 is 2, and 2 + 2 is 4, and so on and so forth. Until I have 10 beers, and I have to call my wife, and she yells at me.
I don't think you have to prove it. I think she's going to prove you right or wrong.
Yeah, she's gonna prove. If I try to bring her some bullshit about me having 3 when I slugged 10, yeah, she's gonna just prove me wrong. Speaking of being proven wrong, I sit here nervous, and I feel like there's a punishment on my horizon because Josh, despite the fact that he is hungover, had a smile on his face because he knows that I think at this point, Adam, we're getting smacked around.
Yeah, when's this all end so I can just...
Can I just take my punishment now? Yeah. Because we're entering Josh's Bets of Doom.
I was going to say, I was working it. I had it, and then he just kept going with it, and I was like, I can't.
I was trying to make eye contact with him to see if he was prepared or not. There you go. It's perfect. Better late than never. So, Josh.
So, to answer your first question, the national championship happens on April 5th.
Okay.
Oh. So the answer is not soon enough.
Not soon enough.
So, not the next one, but the one after would be
the punishment.
Yeah, because if we're sticking true to schedule,
right,
that would work out. I will say,
which is also WrestleMania Saturday.
Oh, dear God.
No, that's the 11th, isn't it?
Yeah, that would be the next one. If the championship's on the 5th, we'd do the punishment after that.
I need to look at a calendar.
I think.
I mean, you're right, probably, but
I'm not saying the championship game's on the same day.
Oh no,
I'm
you're
saying
right. You're right.
I mean, I'm already like in the hole right now, so I don't even care who wins. Oh, by the way, just want to throw this back out there too. Someone messaged me and said that I was an idiot because I'm like, oh, we know a lot about hockey. They're like, the Frozen Four is still going on. Like, the tournament's still ongoing, and it's just like basically all Minnesota teams. Like, so you were right, Adam. Just pick all the teams from Minnesota, and you're going to win.
Boom.
So just
like I said, I know I know hockey, but I didn't know if the Frozen Four was actually still a thing right now.
Well, I think we screwed up though too because we're in one of those condensed seasons with all of the COVID stuff too. So I don't think we're dumb. I just think we don't know what new schedules look like. So
I don't think you guys are dumb. I know I'm dumb.
All right, Josh. So please tell us how this terrible bracket is going for Adam and I.
I mean, it's not that bad. There's still a chance for the Wunder Twins.
The Wunder Twins?
The Wunder Twins.
I'm Jewish and you're not German.
That's okay. It sounds like we started a social network.
Yeah! The Wunder Twins.
So I am in the lead, 360.
Yeah, no shit.
310. I'm looking at 73% correct, where you guys are leaning at 26%.
Oh, we're going to have to repeat the grade.
Where it gets hard
to
kind of stick up is the max points possible. I still have the ability to hit 1,520, where you guys are sitting at 1,270.
What do you have now, though? Are you already at 1,270?
No, I'm at 360. I'm only 50 points ahead of you guys.
We need a lot of things to go wrong for Josh.
Yes. And I'll root for every single one of them. Every single one of them. I love you, but I hope that you lose. Bad.
But I have Baylor in the finals like you guys. So if they don't go, you don't win.
That's true. Yeah, we're probably fucked.
I'm okay with that because I like Chip Gaines. Like I said before. And I like him.
I love that the next brew day we have a guest brewer with us, and I'm going to be hammered on a 40 before they show up. Great.
Oh, my God.
So,
it'll be a fun day.
Bringing it up, we did talk about it, where I think the punishment, like I said, needed to be a little bigger.
Yeah.
So I think Edward 40 Hands is quite fitting for this.
My God.
Take it back to college days.
Are you willing to run the soundboard then?
Yeah.
Okay. So whenever the punishment happens, I mean...
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I mean, well...
I didn't think of that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And no one can really see us, but the way it works here is I sit in front of a computer with the soundboard, and I trigger stuff, and I launch stuff, and if I have 40s taped to my hands, Josh, you're going to have to be the producer for the day.
I mean, all I got to do is hit the knob when it gets to do.
And that's why we're fucked.
Yeah. Crash course.
Yes, but I have full faith that Josh can run the soundboard because I know I'm screwed, so I'm going to be drinking. I'll celebrate Baylor, but I will also be sad because I'll be drinking 40s.
Well, no, you said you don't want Baylor.
No, I said I do want Baylor.
Yeah, but you can't want Baylor.
I love Baylor. Just because I picked them, I didn't pick them to go. Doesn't mean
No, you did.
I did? I don't remember.
You guys have Alabama Baylor in the championship.
Oh, cool.
But then we have Bama.
Bama, baby. That's okay.
But I think they're already out. Are they out too?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
God.
Bama.
That's your saving grace.
Bama.
Yeah.
Bama.
And that's why you still have a possibility, is because your champion is in the thing still.
We're so screwed.
So, I don't care. You know what? I like it's going to be a nostalgia day.
Yeah, it will be.
Nostalgia day, 40 hands.
So out of the Elite 8, you've only got 1, 2, 3, 4. You're batting half. Right
Okay.
now.
You're
alive.
Yeah.
But
However, yes.
Yeah.
Josh is about to pull the plug on us.
Yeah, well, do not resuscitate. Do not resuscitate. Is there a concession that we can do? Like, I concede? Because I don't know if I want to go through being a loser and having to be a loser drinking 40s like I'm a freshman in college again.
I'll take it.
Yep. You're going to go the full... All right.
I mean, we might as well go the full...
So, I'll just say this, too. Adam, you should have copied off of me, I think. At this point, we're losing so badly. I think it's just safe to say that Adam sent me his Adam sent me his bracket.
There was collusion.
There's a lot of collusion, and it blew up in our faces.
So it wasn't even planned that way. I sent him mine just saying, hey, man, I made the spreadsheet if you want to use it.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool, man.
And he texted me the next day. He's like, so I'm copying your entries like to the T.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, whatever.
I mean, you guys played it off well last episode.
I literally picked the way I said it.
Yeah.
I just like...
Hey, I'll tell you
and
what.
even when I called you out in the group, I was like, so we might have a problem because...
Yeah, and I was like, that's your problem, buddy. Like,
it's exact.
Yeah. Well, and it was funny too because I'm looking through it and I'm actually reading it. And I'm like, I would pick this. Like, it wasn't out of the realm of me not picking pretty close to that bracket anyway. So like as I'm filling it out by hand, I'm like, I'd probably pick this anyway. So we should be okay. Then I saw the tiebreaker score. I'm like, this is where it's going to get funny. Over at 185.
So we'll learn this weekend, probably tomorrow, how much of a shot you guys have because Bama and UCLA play tomorrow.
Okay.
And
isn't UCLA like super hot right now too? I saw
they came in as the 11 seed and they've been taking out
smacking people.
So going back through their little section here, where
come on Bama, roll Tide, let's do this.
So 11 seed UCLA took out 14 seed Abilene Christian. 67-47.
Okay.
Take them out.
Take them right out.
And they took out BYU 73-62.
That needed to happen.
So they're putting up some points.
I think the one's losing, that's for sure.
Yeah.
The one that surprises me is Oral Roberts.
Yeah. I mean,
and I don't know shit about them. It just surprises me because they're a 15 seed.
Yeah. Well, I think that just plays into the continued mysterious nature of NCAA basketball. Any given game, anyone can take anybody.
I mean, the whole NCAA as a whole
it's crazy.
Yeah,
it's like, if you think about it, like every year there's always that one team that like had nothing going for it for decades, and all of a sudden they make it to the big dance, and they get to like the Sweet 16 or the Elite 8, and you're like, where do they even come from? They're like, this little corner of California that's almost in Mexico. It's a school has 100 people at it, and they have a basketball team.
Yeah, I mean, look at VCU a couple years ago. It put them on the map, and Shaka Smart?
I have no idea what you're even saying to me right now.
I think the coach's name was Shaka Smart. He took them to, I think, the Final Four. And then from there, because it was VCU, they're a mid-major, he actually ended up getting a job at, I think, Texas.
Oh.
It's just great for ESPN because they can just 30 for 30 these Cinderella teams.
They just rate themselves.
Money, yeah.
All right. Speaking of 30 for 30, thank you again, Josh, for all of your efforts and what you do with these brackets. Because clearly, as we're talking about it, I have no idea what's going on.
I'm going to line up for my spankings in 2 weeks.
Yeah, dear God. I'm just going to take it like a man. That's all you can do. So, something I wanted to get into last week, and I'm kind of glad we got to push it to this week. And I'm really excited to see how this works out for us because I feel like we all have different viewpoints on this. We want to try to figure out the Mount Rushmore of professional wrestling. Now, I know that my taste differ from Adam's, and Josh's taste differ from both of ours entirely.
Secret time, I don't have one.
Secret time, he doesn't have one.
Shocker, it was only planned for 2 weeks.
No.
No research.
My taste.
But
you're also correct there.
Yeah, also correct. Correct on all accounts. Yeah, so but like I said though, I think Josh, even with you not being so deep into it, I still feel that there was enough pop culture permeation in your life, especially hanging out with Adam when you were younger, that you had to pick up some stuff.
Yeah, I mean, the Mount Rushmore is not going to be current. No. Well, it could be.
Well, it could be, yeah.
But typically it wouldn't be current.
I can say right now, I know, you
can't see him on the Mount Rushmore.
You can't see him, but I also think, whenever...
cannonball at his face.
Whenever Adam comes up with the Kenny Omega justification for his Mount Rushmore, that's where we're really going to get into it a little bit.
You can go to the bottom of the sea.
So, Adam, kind of let us know how we're going to do this, and let's try to break this thing down so we can finally settle the score with everyone else out there.
Yeah, so to make it more interesting for us and the listeners, instead of doing typically a Mount Rushmore, somebody would just say, oh, these are my top 4 in this order. go into the next person. I think even though we do have differentiated tastes, there's going to be some similarities.
Yeah.
So we are going to run this in draft mode, like a snake draft.
Okay.
So we picked numbers before the podcast today. Josh is going to go first. I'm going to go second. Matt's going to go third. And then in the next round, Matt will start. I will go second. Josh will go third.
So on and so forth until we all have 4 people.
Yeah, and then if your person is selected, you cannot pick them. They cannot be on your Rushmore anymore. And, of course, we will explain, like, oh, yes, I agree with that one. He was on mine. But
yeah.
So we're going to have to think on our feet
toes
a little bit. It's going to get a little goofy.
Because I'm pretty sure there's going to be some similarities here. Especially, you know what, though? Josh, we're going to help you out, buddy. If you're like, dude, I don't know, I'm going to start, like, just saying people. And if you can, if you're like,
can come up with 4 wrestlers.
Oh, I've easily got.
Oh, okay.
4 wrestlers.
I just want to make sure.
And speaking of which, he's first. So
Yeah. So,
However, by the end of my list, if I get to like a Hornswoggle,
that's awesome. Killing the game in Impact right now.
So, I mean, I will say most of mine are going to come from, like, the 90s, because I did used to watch it
Yeah.
back then when you still had, like, the Monday Night Wars, you had the WWE versus WCW, that kind of thing.
Arguably one of the best eras of modern wrestling. So you're not dry in your choices there. You have a swath of people that you can choose from that.
I mean, it's just like today's stuff is not where I get in. Like, you guys are going to get into...
I'm so scared he's going to take my first pick.
The New Japan and stuff like that.
We're not.
That I don't.
No, we're not.
That
you're going to be surprised.
Yeah, you're be like, I really thought. No, we're not going outside the box.
You have to think the Mount Rushmore is the pillars. Like,
Yeah.
if people don't know who they are, it's not a very good pick.
Yeah.
So, I mean, knowing where I'm at with my mindset, I'm putting Tommy Dreamer up there.
Whoa.
The innovator of violence.
That is why.
Pick.
Wow, off the rip.
It's like pineapple on a pizza.
Okay.
I mean, you can go with the obvious ones. They're going up there anyway.
Yeah, don't say them, though, because they're coming next.
Tommy Dreamer, for me, he, like you said, innovator of violence. He brought the hardcore scene into what it is. Well, what it was. I mean, it's kind of...
He wasn't on my radar, but that's a great pick.
That's a great pick.
And he was a... Like, true, like, at the beginning of his career in ECW, anyway, he was a true babyface.
Yeah.
In a company where babyfaces didn't do well. And he still had...
And he got over.
Yeah, he did great.
He still gets over. He just wrestled again on Impact.
Still going,
And he actually wrestled very well. He's like 50, isn't he?
He's got it.
He's got to be up there. He looks good. He looks great pick, Josh. Jesus, man. I thought you said you weren't going to bring no heat.
Yeah, that was
Look
a good
at you.
one.
That is a great choice.
I put you in my time frame.
There you go, Joshy. You know what? Just real quick. Clap it up. All right.
So, to go more traditional, I am not going to shock the world with my pick. When I originally listed my 4, I kind of picked a wrestler from each generation that kind of spoke to me. So, with that being said, my number 1 pick is going to be Ric Flair.
Ah, Jesus.
Woo!
Yep.
So, I mean, I know there's probably more established and better people in their personal lives, but I mean, Ric Flair's, he's in pop culture, he's in rap. I mean, besides what he did in wrestling, 16-time world champ by WWE standards, he actually has more titles than that. But then he permeated the rap game in his 70s. He's still styling and profiling on TV here and there.
Yeah.
I think he survived near-death experiences like, the plane wreck early in his career.
Yeah.
And then just recently, in like the last 3 years, he's been in intensive care twice.
Ton of health problems, And now he's banging Lacey Evans in the
still-
storyline.
He's still out there putting babies in Lacey Evans.
Yeah, man. Great job by WWE Creative, though, to take what was a terrible storyline
and add more terribleness on top of it.
Yeah, but it was a great way to write Lacey Evans off because now she can go be pregnant and not be like.
But we know my man is shooting powder. Come on.
So
I don't know about that, bro. I think he's shooting champagne.
And typically, I mean, in my like personal Mount Rushmore, he probably wouldn't be the number 1 spot, but I wanted to take him before he got.
That was smart.
I mean, I knew he was going off the list at some point.
Yes,
he was one of the ones that I was like, okay. I mean, I could put him up there realistically, but I knew he was getting on somebody's.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was too. I put him on for the same reasons. He's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. However, going in the same vein as Adam to make sure that no one can take my pick. I'm going to go with the man, the reinventor, the painmaker, Chris Jericho. That guy has reinvented himself in each company. In WWE alone, he reinvented his character 4 or 5 times, and it was a pop every single time. That guy had crazy tag teams with The Big Show, Kevin Owens. I think he did something with Kane for a while. Comes over to AEW, and he's one of the founding members, the first champion, carried it for a really long time, and then lost it in extraordinary fashion with a great matchup with Jon Moxley. Did a great job over in New Japan Pro Wrestling. I mean, this guy gets it. He gets it to the point where he has a name, and he uses it to push younger talent, and these guys just under him have excelled. Like, I'm sorry, and I don't want to be disingenuous, but I had no idea who Sammy Guevara was until he was in the Inner Circle. And then, Jericho is elevating him. I mean, he wrote a lot of because Sammy just turned on his faction twice. And that was because Chris Jericho was like, dude, this is what you need to do. Do you want to be a superstar or not? And he's like, turn.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't he also, like, in his WWE days, wasn't he the first Undisputed?
Yeah.
The first Undisputed.
Yeah.
Now, and that's funny that you say that because he was a career mid-carder in WCW.
Correct.
They did not use him correctly, so he forced his way out.
And the issue that I have is that WWE started not using him correctly, too.
Well,
like,
yeah.
that whole A-list persona.
They also couldn't work around his, like, that's what he was going to get with his music touring schedule.
Yeah.
Now, he will never go on my music Mount Rushmore.
No.
But, yeah, I mean, wrestling, it's a good choice.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget. I mean, I liked him in WCW. I wasn't a huge WCW guy. But when he came on to Raw, I remember his first night, he came in there and cut a promo with The Rock. And it was like, wow, they, like, shot him right up the card. And
look no further than when Stone Cold tried to throw him 2 beers in the ring and he missed both of them on purpose. Just to piss off Steve Austin. There you go.
Yeah, I read an article recently that, like, they say his matches with Omega and New Japan were like the catalyst to get AEW going like that.
Yeah.
That was kind of like, oh, if these guys are on board.
Yep.
Definitely. Is that a hint to a later pick there?
I think Adam has a love affair with Kenny Omega.
Is that a hint?
No, I don't.
He loves Kenny Omega.
He loves
so
putting his
much.
little shotgun in Kenny Omega's
He
mouth.
does.
Anyway, Matt, you get the next pick as well.
So this is my nostalgia pick. This is the pick that I'm going to make that not everyone's going to super agree with, and that's totally fine.
Mae Young.
Dude, I love Mae Young so much. The way she mistreated all those women all those years and forced them into doing crazy shit to maybe get some...
No, that's Moolah.
Oh,
Mae Young was a sweetheart.
My bad. Which one gave birth to the hand?
Mae Young.
Mae Young.
Yeah.
Great
Mark
job.
Henry.
Great job giving birth to a hand
Sexual
there, Mae.
chocolate.
But I'm going to pick Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Good pick.
And the reason why I pick Ricky the Dragon Steamboat is because I can remember as a little kid watching the Night of Champions matches from WCW when they would put like a 4-hour episode on TNT, not on pay-per-view, because I was too poor, couldn't afford pay-per-view, but I could definitely watch TNT because it's basic cable. And I got to watch Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and Ric Flair go at it for any title, the TV title, the World Heavyweight Championship. He's been in tag team situations. I mean, I can't say enough about how much I like Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, and he has a great family lineage where he comes from. I mean, he is wrestling incarnate. He is a guy who pushed talent, and he's a guy who gave himself to the business to make the business work. And it's my nostalgia pick. Do I think he's the best wrestler ever? No. Is he one of the best mid-card wrestlers that's ever graced the planet? Also no. But to me, he knows how to work.
I think he is. I think technically he is. Like,
really?
If you get into the technique of what he did,
Yeah.
I think he is one of the best.
He's a career jobber, unfortunately.
His match with another person that might not make, or that might make the list today. I'm not going to say names because
say it so I can steal it.
They still have one of the best WrestleMania matches in history.
Oh,
Everybody points. I'll give you hints. Everybody points to WrestleMania 3 and their match is one of the greatest matches ever.
That's true.
And he still could do it. I don't know. In his 50s or 60s, he had a fight with your first pick, Chris Jericho.
Yes,
Remember
he
that?
did.
He held up.
Yep.
He was in good shape.
Yeah, he's always been a good-looking dude. He kept together. And if I actually, one of the wrestling shirts that I have a Ricky the Dragon Steamboat original tee that I can rock, and I love that thing. It's on you, man.
On to me.
Snake back your way.
So, I'm surprised he's still on the list.
Oh, God.
But I'm definitely taking him. from the New Gen, the Attitude Era, and the Ruthless Aggression Era.
Oh, God.
Oh, Shawn Michaels, baby. The
HBK.
Heartbreak Kid, man.
I can't believe it. That was my next one if no one thought about it.
Yeah.
The cross-eyed wonder.
Yeah. Old googly eye. Anyway, yeah, I mean, going back to when I was a kid, I liked him. He was the first heel I kind of rooted for. Him in the Intercontinental combination match with Razor Ramon in that ladder match. Was
that's historic.
I'll still go back and watch that.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And then from there, he just got better. In the ring, in his personal life, he didn't.
Not so much.
I mean, some.
As he got drunker, he got better.
Yeah.
Just like you.
Yeah.
Same. That's where you learned it.
I am Shawn Michaels.
But I mean,
It's just his name is Josh. He knows he's sexy.
I mean, he could do throughout his career. He did serious angles. He did comedy angles.
Yeah.
He did like hardcore stuff with Triple H.
Dude, how about
Took
that?
4 or 5 years off in the middle in his prime, and then came back and.
How about that breakthrough moment when he put Marty Jannetty through the barbershop window?
Yeah.
And nobody was doing that. And super kicked him through the window. That's classic.
Except for what's his nuts from the dude with the stormtrooper.
Oh, God.
Oh, the Shockmaster.
Yeah.
Shockmaster.
But yeah, man, he was a high flyer. I think he was an inspiration to a lot of the guys coming up today. Glad he's in NXT coaching those guys.
Yeah.
And they teased an angle this Wednesday
Adam
that I
Cole.
hope goes through, that he might come back for a match with Adam Cole. Which, I mean, boys, don't even come near me that Sunday. My pants are not going to go on that day.
Yeah.
Pants off all day. But yeah, Shawn Michaels definitely from childhood till today.
Great choice.
Still like what he does in the ring.
Yeah, absolutely. Great choice, man.
Joshy,
So this
get the
is
next two.
Yeah,
this
buddy.
is where it's tough because
There's lots of great wrestlers still out there, buddy.
I know, but I was gonna kind of like circumvent a little bit here.
Okay, you can. This is your list, buddy.
However, we just said once somebody gets picked, they can't get picked.
True,
Who took one of yours?
unless they have an alter ego. So Mankind is dude.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
No, we're not.
Come
But
on,
You
man.
just take McFoley and everything he brings.
No. I was actually gonna do Cactus Jack, Dude Love, and then you guys are gonna be like, "What about Mankind?" I'm like, "What about Mankind?" I wasn't gonna pick him.
So the reason I brought that up, I was actually going to take DX and put them on my Mount Rushmore.
You know what?
Well,
However,
I will say now before we get too far into it, this is going to be singles, like no teams. That's going to be a future.
That's
we're going to do that in
so
the future.
good.
Yeah.
So
Well,
stables.
We're going to do teams. I think we're going to do one of tag teams and one with stables.
Okay.
Like down the
well,
road.
that
Okay.
takes my next pick too. I was going to say Legion of Doom.
Oh, so you're smart.
Yeah, so
man.
you'll be really good on
Yeah,
the
you're
tag team.
good on that.
So if we're doing
Now I know
singles
who I'm
only,
stealing from.
Yeah.
because I have a feeling, since I'm going back to back, I might not get it on the back wraparound.
Taking what you can, man.
Becky Lynch,
Great choice, man.
the man.
Great choice.
Because her, along with Charlotte, and you had Bailey and Sasha, they revolutionized what women's wrestling is. They took it from the time where if you're there, this is when you go get your beer, you go to the bathroom, and they made it enthralling.
Or I'll say this too, to go in the same vein, they took it from, and no disrespect to that whole entire Attitude Era, but from porn stars in skimpy clothes,
Which I didn't mind.
maybe doing some backflips, to
I'm not
what you
complaining
said.
about that. I mean, you had Sable out there with the
Oh, geez, Sable, good lord.
Brock
Rest
Lesnar's a
in
lucky
peace of
man.
that womb, man. Brock Lesnar's destroying her.
But I mean, yeah, her Becky and the handful of the women at it right now, like took the baton from Lita and Trish and Molly Holly, and like are doing
And I
even
think-
more. Like,
If you look at the trajectory of each of them, Sasha's just now getting into her own lane.
She's in a groove.
Bailey, her character gets stale, in my opinion. Charlotte, same thing. Like, she's phenomenal, but the whole, like, I'm better than you thing, it's just stale to me, where Becky continues to grow.
The I'm better than you angle would work if she actually was. That's all I'm going to say.
So that's why I'm picking Becky over any of the other four horsewomen.
Smart.
But Becky deserves a spot on any Mount Rushmore.
yeah, she's probably my favorite. I mean, Sasha Banks is a real close.
Yeah. But like Josh said, though, I think Sasha Banks, and if we go all the way back to the first episode, I did pick her to be like the dream matchup over in AEW to bring her over because I think, like you said, Sasha Banks is finding her lane, but Becky paved the road. Great pick, man. You're doing so much better at this than you thought you were going to.
Well, let's see.
Yeah,
third pick.
It's me again.
Yeah.
Okay, it's standard.
Yeah.
Gonna have to be up there.
Yeah.
Stone Cold.
Okay.
Like
Perfect.
you can't not put him on a list.
I'm struggling now.
Yeah, I was already saying
He's definitely my next pick. So yeah, that's a good.
He hit the comedy angles. He hit the kick your ass angles. Like, he was versatile.
Mm-hmm. He's terrifying too. He's
talked
still
about
terrifying.
it earlier.
Yeah.
What's your favorite moment?
Yeah.
And you hit it. It's the beer truck thing.
Beer truck.
Yeah. 100%. I did like when he attacked Vince in the
I
hospital.
did too. The ping from the bedpan.
Yeah. But the beer truck was so much better, especially because then Kurt Angle tried to riff it.
With the milk?
And it didn't play.
It didn't work at all.
Speaking of Kurt Angle, like him and I remember that there was like a backstage thing where him and Stone Cold were playing guitar and Kurt put the little cowboy hat on.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And Stone Cold just looked at him like he was the biggest piece of shit.
Oh my god.
Oh, great fucking choice.
Yeah,
That
dude.
was
Well, and you know what
mine.
too? I think I can confidently say that we all were going to pick Stone Cold at some point, and you were just the quickest one to take that one. Man.
I'm always the quickest
Sean
one.
just
Damn
inched,
it.
Sean just inched him out by a little bit just because I had more time with Sean than.
Yeah, I would say too, because I remember, growing up with Sean. Yeah, it's kind of the same way. Like, kind of growing up with him, like late '80s, going into the '90s, and he kind of helped bring the company into the new era. And they're like, "Hey, man, do you mind switching to be like a huge heel and being a massive asshole?" He's like, "Yeah, I can totally do that." He's like, "I'll just be who I normally am." So you're up, Adam. You got a hard act to follow. Becky Lynch and Stone Cold back to back. You better bring some heat, not some dog shit.
That was, Stone Cold was like my lock for the third pick, and now I'm like spiraling between a bunch.
I have no idea who I'm going for the
I
fourth.
haven't really picked anybody from the Attitude Era yet.
Oh, you haven't.
I would, man.
You know you want to do it.
So I'm between two, but I don't want to name names.
Mm-hmm. Just name them. What two are you thinking about?
Well, I don't want to give up. I'm between somebody from the Attitude Era, and I'm between somebody from. Actually, he might not even be Attitude Era. He might be later than that.
Go ahead and pick them.
Crap.
Because the Attitude Era has so much,
Yeah.
you're still likely to get.
I was gonna say, is this someone from the Spirit Squad?
No, I'm just gonna go
Mickey?
with it. I'm not gonna go with my classic one, but he's
Pete
gonna be
Gas.
in my honorable mentions
Yeah.
when we do the final Rushmore.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Kurt Angle.
It's a wonderful choice.
Yeah, and
I knew that was coming.
I ended up between him and two other people.
Was he originally one of the two you were debating? Because you were like, I'm between this guy and
Yeah,
this
he
guy.
was originally one of
and
the
then
two.
you just
And
threw
then
another one in there.
And then I was thinking of matches he had, and a third guy popped into my head.
Yeah.
Omega.
But yeah.
Yeah, Kenny Omega. Baby.
Anyway, that guy is. You're gonna have to wait for my fourth pick, Josh.
Yeah.
Sean Hurricane Helms.
So
I love him so much.
And Kurt made me like him. I didn't like him when he first came
Yeah.
in. He was just too dry.
He earned it.
Boring. But I mean, a lot of his colleagues say he was one of the wrestlers that picked it up the quickest, and he just got better and better. And while he was there coaching, he's helped out people get better and better. And I arguably, he's the only reason I really ever watched Impact. And I think his
Yeah.
best match is sadly in Impact instead of WWE. But I
Yeah.
mean, it still doesn't take away his incredible runs in WWE. He defected to WCW.
Yeah.
When that invasion angle happened. And he's a Pittsburgh boy,
Yeah.
so a little biased. We actually, did he graduate from Kennebec?
I don't think so.
No. Well, his grandma lived in our school district.
Well, he did it all with a broken freaking neck.
He did, yeah, and he won the gold medal with a broken freaking
I'm pretty sure, though, I could be... This is like a 50-50 shot in the dark. I might just be talking out my ass. The art teacher, though, from high school, Mrs. Angle.
was related to him.
I think they were cousins or
yeah,
something.
yeah. I think you're right. So, yeah, I mean, close ties to this city. I seem to be picking a lot of guys that had their struggles with substance abuse issues.
You do.
But, I can relate.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, Kurt Angle got that 3 spot for me.
Yeah.
Matt, who you got next?
I'm so happy that none of you guys picked this guy. Thank goodness. I was gambling.
Please. I hope it's one of them I was going to say.
There is, without a doubt, no way that I could go through all of this and not even think to bring this guy up. And he took us for last rides. He took us to the grave and beyond. It's The Undertaker.
Not who I was thinking, but that's a good pick.
The Undertaker is one of the quintessential wrestlers that I can remember from my childhood and the Attitude Era, and now.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing with him is he transcends so many eras. Like,
yes,
he was there in what, WrestleMania 3?
Yeah, dude.
4?
I mean, he was the first guy to really bring like a horror idea to wrestling. Like, and people were like, I don't know if people are gonna like this, man. It's kind of crazy. He's like, well, look at my fat guy. I'm gonna come down here with Paul Bearer. Oh yes, bringing the urn and just going crazy. I mean, it's the mythos behind him and just the sheer power. He had a lot of agility as a big man, and then the storylines he had in the Attitude Era were phenomenal. Like the Ministry of Darkness was phenomenal. He built so many people up that were having Big Daddy Vis, baby. He built up so many people in that era that don't wrestle now. Either they're dead, unfortunately, or they just kind of phased out of wrestling. But they all attribute their success in the Attitude Era to The Undertaker. And who can forget that unique story? 2 of them that I can remember. It's going to be Undertaker and Kane, which amazing storyline, took a lot of twists and turns, and then Undertaker Mankind. I mean, the Hell in the Cell matches.
You're completely forgetting Undertaker Giant Gonzalez. What's going on?
Well, I mean, so
that's third.
That's my thing with Taker is that. Yes, he spanned multiple eras of wrestling, but he also did everything there was to do. You put him in singles. You put him with Kane, the Brothers of Destruction. Yeah. You switched his gimmick, and he still got over.
He came out to Limp Bizkit and made it look cool.
Yeah. The only thing that I could hold against Taker is I think he went a little too long.
Yeah,
I can say that. That match with Goldberg was an abomination.
Oh, yeah.
It was awful.
Even before that, was it before that? The Lesnar.
Yeah, I think
where he went 20-1.
Yeah. That wasn't... I mean, he got concussed early in that match, but he also...
You could...
They should have just let him retire on 20-0.
Yeah, the 3 matches that he had that... And let me say this. The 3 matches he had, it was Lesnar and Roman Reigns and the Goldberg match. The one that stands out to me the most is when he had the match against Roman Reigns, and he actually went backstage afterwards and apologized to Roman because that was supposed to be Roman's gigantic push, and The Undertaker felt like he didn't give enough to that match. And that's why I like him, because he's a company guy, and for a generation where people don't like Vince McMahon, he gave everything to the McMahon family.
And kudos to him for getting that gimmick over in the first place. Like, it's a cool look, but you're walking around in a man with that much agility is walking around that slowly, not emoting anything with his face. Yeah. Just very stiff and like still a hit. Like that presence was just...
Dude, he sold a face shield. He broke his face and he was able to sell... Yeah.
The thing that doesn't get talked about enough is he had that persona, but he got over in a time where media was starting to boom.
Yep.
Yeah.
But he was never in it.
No.
Like he just recently, after he retired,
started doing interviews.
Started doing his social medias and interviews. They had that 24/7 thing on the network, which is now on Peacock, which is weird.
Yeah.
But like he lived his life as this character.
You
don't see that.
He believed in kayfabe. He believed in the curtain, and you, as a fan, should not go behind it. The forbidden door.
And I know it's not real, and I know, they have their own plans, but the fact that Kane and freaking Great Khali are going in the Hall of Fame before him just breaks my heart.
That hurts a little bit. So
I'm sorry, that's Mayor Glenn Jacobs.
Yes, get it right.
Isaac Yankum.
DS. So, it's back on me, and this is where I would give you my curveball pick, because we're talking about singles wrestlers.
Rey Mysterio.
I swear to God, if you take my 4th pick, I'm coming across this.
I don't think that you will, but I think that you're going to have a hard time swallowing this pill.
Okay.
Because the only reason why he's even eligible right now is because he did wrestle in the Attitude Era.
Fuck.
And I'm going to give this to him, and I'm going to say why I'm going to give this to him.
X-Pac.
Vincent Kennedy.
Fuck!
Man.
You took my last pick!
Yes. If you don't believe in Vincent Kennedy McMahon, being one of the most influential people in professional wrestling.
God damn it.
You are a mark.
Oh, my
You
swerve.
don't get it. Vincent Kennedy McMahon is the most underhanded businessman that's ever put his grubby paws on professional wrestling. And not only did he break the you don't snipe people from other talent agencies, he said, I'm going to put him on TV on the same day you're supposed to have him on TV in your promotion.
He didn't just snipe talent. He took out
whole promotions. Yeah. So
he took Dusty Rhodes and put him in polka dots. He took Ted DiBiase and put him in the mid card. Like,
he did not care.
Yeah.
He took you, and he took you quick, but without Mr. McMahon, and I'll say Mr. McMahon, we don't have Hulk Hogan, we don't have Stone Cold, we don't have The Undertaker, we don't have Kurt Angle, Heartbreak Kid, Ric Flair, Tommy Dreamer, any of these guys. We don't have any of them. We don't have Becky Lynch.
oh, you'd have Ric Flair.
You'd also
Maybe.
have Tommy Dreamer.
Maybe.
Well, yeah, maybe that. Well, you'd have Ric Flair. Tommy Dreamer might not have ever got ECW might not have been a thing. I don't know.
He wouldn't have gotten pushed as
No. So
legendary.
I
but
disagree with we wouldn't have Ric Flair, but other than that, you're right.
I say all this to say he
Talk about my number
also
one pick.
he also had an actually cool wrestling stint. He wrestled in cool matches. He got buff as hell. He did. Steroids.
He was hilarious.
Yeah.
He got so buff, he ripped both.
Yeah, guy. We're going to restart this match right now. We're going to restart it.
Quads.
Blowing his
Just
quads
getting
off.
into the ring.
He's the kind of guy that I would not trust to watch my kids, but he's the kind of guy I would trust to run my
Especially
business.
nowadays. I wouldn't
Yeah.
even trust him nowadays
I am
to run a business. But.
So heartbroken. That was my fourth. That was my fourth from when we talked about this. I was like, I'm going to swerve them all.
I got to watch Adam's
shot my
heart
swerve.
break
You-
as I was saying it.
His
that
new
fuck.
swerve is going to be like Eric Bischoff.
Well,
no.
I can pick it.
I mean,
So,
he was in matches.
that's-
Here comes Vince Russo.
I got. Oh fuck! I'm gonna tell you right now. If you pick Vince Russo, I'm quitting this podcast. I can't work with you.
Well, dude, I have to say, great fourth choice.
Thank
and
you.
I think he's going to make our final. mount.
He has to. We'll see.
But yeah, so you took my fourth. So I will go with the other gentleman I was disputing on my third round pick. The coffee, or the cream to your coffee. The man
D'Lo
who
Brown.
had the best match with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yes, absolutely. Oh yeah.
He was going to be my fourth.
Yeah. So I mean,
I'm actually glad you took him.
That's why I was like, even if he doesn't make any of our four, like we're gonna have to argue to put him on the final four.
So I just want to real quick, Adam. Ric Flair, substance abuse. HBK, substance abuse.
Yep.
Kurt Angle, substance abuse. Macho Man Randy Savage, substance
Uh,
abuse.
prove that. I don't. He was a clean man. If Slim Jims are a drug, convict me.
Yeah, because there's cocaine in those Slim Jims. I've never seen a man bite his own teeth so hard.
I have.
I'm gonna come out there and I'm gonna show you why I'm the macho man.
He's having a heart attack on the microphone.
Cup of coffee in the big time. Say everything twice. Say everything twice. Yeah, Macho Man was definitely. I think him and the Undertaker and Ultimate Warrior, like those were the people that like pulled me in as a child.
Yeah.
Like those bright characters, those just larger than life personalities. And then when he went over to WCW, he was kind of like floundering for a little bit at the beginning, but like his run in the NWO was
Phenomenal.
crazy. His matches with DDP and WCW
So
are
good.
really good.
So good. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gone too soon from a heart attack from maybe some of that substance he
Some of
had
those
in his younger days.
Some of them Slim Jims.
But yeah, man, Macho Man, 4 spot, and I'd like to put him in the final mountain. But let's see who Josh has.
Yeah, Josh, you're rounding it up, buddy.
I actually fucked this whole thing up.
Did you?
Because I should not be going last.
Well,
I've got way too many things floating in my head. Especially after...
Real American. And
No.
I'm talking about Lex Luger, not.
yeah, I was ready to say.
neither of them are hitting for me.
Thank God.
I mean...
Yeah, Lex
does
Luger killed his wife.
does that mean Chris Benoit is disqualified?
No, Chris Benoit is not disqualified. No one's
Are we
disqualified.
Dr. Seussing Chris Benoit right now?
All I want to say is you have to be ready for anyone to come through and be like, listen, this is what he fucking did. And you guys say, yeah, but did you see him?
Did you see the crossface?
Oh, dude, he would have been. He was my favorite wrestler up until that happened.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
So I'm torn on what direction I want to go. And since I'm the final pick, I'll just throw out like where my mind is weaving in between. I mean, do I go somebody like Eddie Guerrero?
Latino Heat, baby.
Who...
That was the third guy that was in the
Yeah. You brought up McMahon.
Yep.
As long as they wrestled, they could qualify.
Yes.
Do you go with somebody like an Earl Hebner?
Ooh, I like Earl.
You know, like...
I like Earl. He's got a place in my heart.
Yeah, he's got
a Michael Cole, maybe?
No Michael Cole.
Do I take it older and go somebody like in the Hulk Hogan time frame? Do I bring it new? Because, I mean, nobody said The Rock.
Yeah.
But I'm hard-pressed not to put him on a overall Mount Rushmore. Yeah. But how do I not put him on mine if I can't?
Yeah.
So, after debating it in my head while talking it out,
American, fight for the
because of everything he's brought, because of everything he's brought to the industry.
Yes.
By industry, I'm mainly referencing the WWE.
Yeah, which is the industry.
Jerry the King Lawler.
Yeah,
when you said Michael Cole, his name popped in my head for a second.
Because he had the whole
persona.
He had the whole, when we were still in territories, he basically owned his territory.
Yeah.
And then when we came together and he started wrestling, I don't know all his accolades on the wrestling side, but I know from, at least he moved into the announcer side, and he brought us a shit ton of catchphrases.
He did.
Puppies. Yeah, the one that comes to mind the most.
Yeah.
And then he was still active.
Yeah.
And he's still active now.
Yeah.
He's the master of the pile driver.
So,
and he almost died on TV.
Yeah. Was it twice? He had a heart attack on air during Raw.
Yeah.
But honorable mention would be The Rock.
Yeah. Well, I would say. So I was going to say, does anyone have an honorable mention? Because you would say The Rock, and I would totally agree with that. Do you have an honorable mention that you would like to put on there?
No, I mean, for what they did for the. No, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah. Okay.
I was going to say Ultimate Warrior, but he was such a piece of garbage. He's not on there.
And Sean Waltman for getting.
I was going to. Yeah, Jesus. I was going to say mine was going to be Luna Vachon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Love Luna. She was the first vicious woman that I saw in female wrestling. So much akin to Becky Lynch, kind of taking the vision by the reins and kind of
the biggest issue with Luna's time was who else was there besides this Luna and Miss Elizabeth?
I mean, it was tough. There wasn't a lot of competition. No. She definitely rode side cart with the oddities and all that stuff too. But she did a really good job. I really enjoyed her, and she was one of the only females featured on the video games, if you remember.
Yeah. She also caddied for Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
Which was weird.
Bam Bam Bigelow.
Bam Bam Bigelow.
Actually, they were married, I believe.
Yeah, they were. Yeah. No, they were. They were definitely
I think
married.
I'm getting him confused with Gangrel. I'm not sure, though.
She was not married to Gangrel.
I think she was.
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
I thought did she pass away recently?
We'll have to be wikiing. Yeah. Not recently, but yeah.
It's been a minute.
I mean, since I do my research live, I can just... Okay,
she was married to one of those men.
So let's figure out here then the overall Mount Rushmore. So because Josh did a very good job here, I feel like he should be able to argue for 2 spots. Because there's 3 of us.
That's fine.
Okay.
I got 2 that I definitely want on there.
Okay, so Josh, this is how we'll do it. Out of your 4,
and your honorable
mention. So you have Tommy Dreamer, Becky Lynch, Stone Cold, Jerry the King Lawler, and The Rock. Pick 1.
I'm sorry, I was distracted because I just learned
just pick one for the
real
final.
name was Gertrude.
Pick one of yours
to be on.
On the final.
The final.
Yeah. Stone Cold.
Yeah. Okay.
Good choice. I agree. I will not veto that choice.
Yeah, it's
Adam.
I will have to go with. Who are my 2 and 3? Michaels and...
You had Flair, Michaels, Angle, Savage, and Rhodes.
Ric Flair.
Okay. And I have to do it. I'm picking Vince McMahon. I think Vince McMahon needs to go up there for my list. And then Josh.
Out of all the lists.
Yeah.
He can pick the last one.
Okay.
Including his own, any of them.
Yeah.
Or the honorable mentions.
You can out of yours, out of ours.
Okay. So, I don't need it.
Okay.
I already know. I'm gonna
rando, you can too.
I'm gonna keep going with this until I'm told otherwise because she's my boo.
Yep.
Becky Lynch.
Last kicker.
And I think that is a
very well-rounded.
Hit me up on social media, Becky.
So Becky Lynch, if you're out there and you listen to us, just hit us up on our social media at Decay and WTB on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and we can bring you on the show.
I just want to hate Josh.
We just need a little
that'd
bump,
be awesome.
A little bump. Hey, Josh.
I would fangirl.
Yeah, I think I can honestly say I think I'd be right behind you on that one. Yeah, she's a sweetheart.
So to wrap us up here, Matt, what's Decaying with the Boys Mount Rushmore?
So I'm gonna tell you right now, man, this is not what I thought it was gonna be, but this is phenomenal. I like this. The Decaying with the Boys Mount Rushmore of professional wrestling. The Rattlesnake, Stone Cold Steve Austin, that jet flying, limousine riding son of a gun, Ric Flair,
woo,
Vincent Kennedy McMahon, because you got no shot, and
no chance in hell, man. Come on.
What?
You said you got no shot.
Yes, yeah.
You got no chance in hell.
No chance.
If that's what you got. Yeah.
No chance in hell.
I said no shot.
You said no shot.
I screwed up.
Come on, Dad Jeans.
There you go. And then
edit.
I refuse to edit my mistakes out this time. And last but not least, the last kicker, Becky Lynch.
Because I'm in love with her.
Josh is in love with her.
To be honest.
Who knew Josh would be the most forward-thinking?
Yeah. This is a really good
To be
list.
fair, I probably should have put, The Rock up there.
Nah.
But
I'm good. It's somebody in the new generation.
I also just want Becky to hit me up.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. This is the way to get her attention, I think. If Starbucks is reaching out to us to give a cease and desist, I think Becky Lynch can find us
she's
too.
She's definitely finding us on spot.
So for real
I'm
quick,
hashtag the shit out of this when we post it.
Becky Lynch, Becky Lynch, Becky Lynch,
hashtag
Becky Lynch, Becky Lynch.
Hashtag Seth.
Becky Lynch, congratulations on your baby. So last little piece of WWE news before we decide to take a quick break. Just so you guys know, Andrade was released from his WWE contract is something that we were talking about in the previous episode, and he did not have a 90-day no-compete clause in his contract, so it was actually a gift given to him by management. He confirmed it on Twitter. He says he's ready to go. It is rumored that he has ties to several promotions, including the one that has my heart right now in AEW. My fear is that AEW is too full for him right now, and he needs a place to shine, so I would really like to see him sign somewhere quickly, and I would love to see him bring Ms. Trinidad with him, because I think she's been collecting too much dust on the shelf right now.
I just saw that she said she had a short-term deal signed with somebody, but didn't say who.
That's awesome.
So she'll be and I don't know. It might be a movie. I don't know if it's wrestling related. She really didn't say. I'm a huge fan of her though.
She deserves it, man. And so does Andrade. I think he's a generational talent that needs to be utilized the right way.
Yeah, I kind of hope. Selfishly, I hope he goes to New Japan because I'll seek that out. But he could go to CMLL or was it AAA?
Yeah, AAA. And then you have NWA's making a big comeback too.
Yeah, he could go there.
And what I would say though too is, it might behoove him to kind of do the thing that Thunder Rosa did, and she's kind of signed with NWA, and she's kind of signed with AEW, and she's wrestling for Power and MPW and all kinds of different places. She's a free agent. She wrestles wherever the hell she wants, and she just put on the best non-sanctioned match I've ever seen. It's in my top 3 with Britt Baker, and I think Andrade has the same level of talent where he can bring Power to any lineup he's in, but I think it'd benefit him if he kind of did that free agent kind of thing too, man. Make some money, make some memories.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna take a quick break and tell you people about some lovely sponsors, and also to remind you that Adam made a beer with Couch. Go buy it.
Hey, it's Adam with Decaying with the Boys in Bash Brew. Just to let you guys know, Bash Brew released a beer in collaboration with Couch Brewing this week. Clouds Over California IPA. This is what happens when San Diego meets New England. It creates a 6% ABV drinker. Reserve your cans now on couchbrewing.com or go in person and get yourself a draft. Tell them the boys sent you.
Welcome back. Hope you guys are going to get out there pretty soon and get one of Adam's delicious beers from Couch. But for right now, I want to let the guys know that I finally got my hands on the intro music that I've been waiting for from Mr. Richie Brioli. So I'm actually going to play it here. It's going to be a little rough because I'm playing it from my phone. But don't worry, this thing's going to get all jazzed up and drop. But for everyone to hear it, here we go.
That makes me so happy.
Doesn't it, though?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. And if you guys want to know, yes, thank you. Thank you. Snaps all around. If you want to know how we got a hold of that awesome intro clip, I got it from my buddy, Richie Brioli. And if you guys have a podcast out there or anything at all, and you want a sound drop, he is available on Instagram at RichSumBitch. That's RichSumBitch on Instagram. He is the guitarist and lead singer for the band called All in Uniform, and their I think it's Waiting on a Miracle is their new album, and it is streaming live now on Spotify. And you can also catch some of Richie's stuff on SoundCloud. It's soundcloud.com/Rich Brioli, RichBrioli. Thank you again, Richie. Really appreciate what you've done here, man, and I can't wait to drop it now in all of our new episodes.
So Becky, if you're looking for new intro music,
yeah,
we got the hookup.
We got a guy that can
just
make
say hi
that
to me.
Fire. And if you want that, and I can get you in for a discount, you have to say hi to Josh.
I'll throw out a realistic shot.
Yeah.
Thanks, Richie, for the song. And if you want to come on and get interviewed,
yes,
come on.
I would love to have.
I mean,
Richie
I
on
assume
here.
that conversation had already happened.
Yeah, I want to get Richie on really badly.
I'm shooting my shot.
You have to. If I've learned anything about what we do here and what we do at the brewery, you gotta shoot your shot, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'd love to have Richie on sometime because I also have an idea for you guys. I was hoping maybe we can start having some live acoustic bands play.
Oh, I thought we were DKing with the boys, not David Letterman.
Well, we can do it better than David. That beard he has sucks.
That's pretty bad.
So yeah, we're gonna see what we can do here. And Rich, I'm shouting out to you right now, man. I want to get you on here as soon as possible. So let's kind of get back into my patented news corner. So I don't know if anybody here likes Jim Cornette. I know that Adam does.
We have shared feelings about Kenny Omega.
There's a lot of shared love and hate for Kenny Omega, and I don't. Josh, do you know who Jim Cornette is?
He's that racket carrying
Yeah.
motherfucker. Cherry face, right?
That's what I wanted you to say.
Yes, racket carrying motherfucker.
Cherry face.
Motherfucker.
Yes.
Well,
so
yeah, he kind of had a cherry face too.
He's done
when he got mad, he would
Yeah.
match.
Well, when you said cherry face, I thought brother love.
I was gonna
Brother
was it
love.
brother or buddy? I thought it was buddy love. I'm not even gonna lie about it.
I think it's brother love, but I want it to be buddy love now.
It's buddy love now.
It's like a,
Yeah. So Jim
And that just
Cornette.
did so good with wrestling, and it just went.
No, you know what though? I don't shame you at all for that because Jim Cornette's done a lot of things for wrestling, but what he's also done is detracted heavily from wrestling. So I don't shame you at all for not knowing what his stupid alter ego gimmick was.
sidebar, buddy love just makes me think of a flamboyant Chucky doll.
Atui Tempawa! So Jim Cornette, not to be short on his opinions about anything, especially for the shots fired at AEW on a pretty consistent basis, he decided to, in a summarization of this, call Penelope Ford, the wife of Kip Sabian, a slut on his podcast. Now, I'm going to say this right now. I don't like that kind of stuff, but I'll say this right now. If you listen to Jim Cornette's podcast, that's probably the tamest thing that he says. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he does not hold back, especially when it comes to wrestling that he thinks is not up to his standards. His standards are really freaking high.
And really old.
Yes.
I mean, a lot of it's old.
Yeah, he likes FTR. If that puts it in perspective, he wants no flippy shit. He wants just like...
I mean,
I do agree with him on a lot of points.
Yeah.
So.
he owned a territory back in the day, didn't he?
I
don't know if he owned it, but he ran...
Mississippi?
Well, he was the promoter for an entire territory.
Crockett, I think.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
At a point in time.
He did a lot of good work.
I mean, like, I can understand his old school.
Yeah.
Oh, and Smoky. He was involved with Smoky Mountain,
Mountain,
and he was involved with OVW,
that's a
precursor to NXT or FCW.
Yeah, I was thinking Smoky Mountain, but for some reason I was thinking Mississippi in my mind. But just so you guys know, Miro, the best man, and Kip Sapien did call him out. So Miro went on Twitter to say, Jim Cornette, if you call Penelope slut again, I'll come like God's wrath on you, which is kind of funny. He'll come.
Skeet, 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 skeet.
You understand, I personally drive to your basement. So he's just kind of calling Jim Cornette a neckbeard there with... You have Jim Cornette. He does routinely kind of shoot shots at people that are kind of coming up in the industry.
Yeah, so, I mean, I listened to some of the stuff he said about Penelope Ford, and I don't remember him calling her a slut, but I might have not heard that segment. I just listened to clips. He did call her Penelope Pitstop.
Yes.
Which sounds like a lot lizard, but it's actually an old
Hanna-Barbera
cartoon.
Yeah.
Just to date Jim Cornette more. It's a cartoon that's been irrelevant forever. It was
a long time.
It was from like
Wacky Racers.
Yeah, it was. I was just gonna say Shitty Speed Racer.
Yeah,
I don't remember that Hanna-Barbera.
Oh,
Speed Racer.
Oh,
Speed Racer fucked.
Yeah, the funny thing about Speed Racer, a fact about Speed Racer, Josh, if you didn't know, he fucked. So, Ford's real life husband retweeted Miro, but also responded legit at the Jim Cornette is a total all talk wet lettuce. I don't know what the hell that means. His funeral is going to be a joyous occasion. So that's I understand it. As a guy, if someone insulted my wife, I'd be saying some pretty reckless stuff too, but I don't do it over Twitter. I mean, I'm gonna get to you.
Yeah.
Me and you are gonna have words face to face. But that does not stop Jim Cornette from shooting his shot, seeing that I give Jim Cornette this much. He warned Kip and Miro the entire time, you don't want any of this. I'm going to slay you. Don't do this. But they kept going and going and going. So Jim Cornette, just with one of the funniest things I've seen in a while, he called Miro a great value Ryback.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
It's a good
Especially considering Ryback himself is great value.
Yeah, it's great value Goldberg.
Yeah. I do believe, though, that Penelope Ford had the last word in here, which I laughed endlessly at this, where she alleged that Mr. Cornette likes to watch his wife get absolutely crushed by other dudes, a.k.a. a cock.
He's talked about that openly, so I don't think that's even a...
Oh, has he
good,
really?
Yeah, that's not even a good shot.
That's not a secret?
Yeah, they play Find the Submarine in the hot tub.
Ooh, piece of candy.
But, I mean...
Yeah, pretty much. It's like,
he's right, though. I mean, Miro and Kip's last feud was over a video game console. Like,
it's still going on.
Well, I mean,
it's still ongoing.
Oh, my God. How's it still happening?
Yeah, I think it's next week. They're supposed to have an arcade match where...
Battle of the arcade cabinet.
Something like that, yeah. And meanwhile, what you're doing in all that is you're not using Miro appropriately. He's an animal. He's
never been used properly.
He never has.
He should be on the Lance Archer kind of path.
Yeah.
I was going to say Murder Hawk Monster, but
yeah,
he should be just decimating dudes. He should have nothing to do with, other than squashing Kip Sabian. He should have nothing to do with.
Yeah, WWE came close to using him the right way because they brought him in and they had him run through.
Yeah, the Bulgarian Brute.
Yeah, and one of the best WrestleMania entrances. When he came out in that tank,
that was awesome.
And then all of a sudden he lost and
just gone.
That was it.
Like Happy Rusev Day.
Well, and he was very outspoken about how unhappy he was.
He was.
He didn't do himself any favor.
He kind of led the way in that juncture too, because he was one of the first guys to say that he felt that he was being used improperly, and when he got backstage heat for it, he just doubled down.
Yeah.
But I'll still say this: I think Miro is still a good get for AEW, but I think that Tony Khan is kind of running out of ideas because he has too much talent. He needs another show. An AEW Elevation on Mondays on YouTube is not going to cut it.
No. Well, and just a final word after all of this. I do know that Miro took down his tweet after the Penelope pit stop clarification.
Well, there you go. So
I don't know. I don't think there was an apology issued or anything, but I think he at least retracted his tweet.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to see that he's at least taking some steps backwards.
But I hope Penelope Ford didn't, because I think that's all true.
Yeah. Well, you know what, though? I remember when Penelope Ford, Jesus. Penelope Ford, when she was with the bad boy, Joey Janela.
Yeah, she kind of played into that.
She did.
Persona.
Yeah, and I tell you what, though, man, they must have had a good connection, because she was able to carry that with her because she's the bad girl. Mm-hmm. And I like to see...
And Joey Janela's on Dark.
Joey Janela's on Dark. Which stinks, by the way, because we just saw him, and not to get too deep into wrestling, but we saw him like 2 weeks ago wrestle Kenny Omega, and I thought he put on a really good match. It wasn't so much a squash. I thought he gave Omega a good match.
Yeah, I think it was a pretty solid match.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to go on here, and we're going to go into something that I think everyone kind of knows about right now, but it is...
I'm so excited for this one.
Yeah. I am too, because it's like jumping down a rabbit hole and then finding all these little trinkets of fun as you're going. So, did you guys know that Cinnamon Toast Crunch is made with shrimp tails?
And rat poop?
Lies.
And dental floss? And
Lies.
So there's already a lot of heat.
And magic.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
And it's the best cereal ever.
Yeah, and that's why Jansen Karp made quite the discovery in his fresh box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, where he tweeted, "Hey, at Cinnamon Toast Crunch Squares, why are there shrimp tails in my cereal? This is not a bit," tweeted Jensen, tagging Cinnamon Toast Crunch's official account on Twitter and posting an image of what appears to be sugar-coated shrimp tails in a now viral tweet.
I'm sorry, they're not sugar-coated shrimp tails.
Those
it's
are
an accumulation of cinnamon and sugar that just happens to be in the form of
Do
a shrimp
you
tail.
Or it's
work
Jensen's
for them?
Carp's dinner from the night before.
No.
Plant.
I don't think so, man. You know, looking at
9/11 was an inside job.
So we're equating 9/11 to shrimp tails and Cinnamon Toast
On the level of conspiracy theory, maybe.
Do you work?
I was never
do you work
in
for
the
General Mills?
I mean, no slight against New York City. I've never been to the Twin Towers. I have eaten Cinnamon Toast Crunch. This is near and dear to my heart.
Look, we've had this argument
Yeah.
tons of times.
Yes.
And I am always on your side with this. Because childhood nostalgia is Cinnamon Toast Crunch. But this is a bad look.
Yeah, well, I agree, but when can I don't know how much of this news story you want to go through before I can attack that man personally.
So let me just
Give
kind
him the
of
shotgun?
and his character. Yeah.
I just want to go a little further here because Josh alluded to it. So whenever Jensen sent the tweet out to General Mills, they responded back with like, "Hey man, we're going to send out someone to pick this up and we'll replace your box." And he's like, "I don't want another box because why would I get that from you? What are these things?" And then the quote unquote further investigation from General Mills, they responded that this is an accumulation of the cinnamon sugar that sometimes can occur when ingredients aren't thoroughly blended. We assure you that there is no possibility of cross-contamination with shrimp.
My issue with that statement alone, I'm a big boy.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
You've been eating shrimp tails.
Never in my life,
Yeah.
my 33 years of life,
Yeah.
have I come across an accumulation of cinnamon and sugar inside my bag of delicious Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yeah, neither have I. And I've eaten Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and I see you staring at me, Adam, and you have a lot of hatred behind those eyes right now for what I'm saying to you. But the truth is out there. There were shrimp tails in this box. And not only were there shrimp tails in that bag, but then he got another bag, and there was what appears to be dental floss and some black item cooked onto the squares.
I've come across the black item before.
Okay, so what do you think
I
that
have.
is?
I think that's just char.
I personally, I
Yeah.
do agree that I think it's char.
Okay.
The guy, Jensen, is getting it tested or something. Because, did you see, I saw
He's
it on
gonna have to
Facebook.
get his eyesight tested after I fucking punch him in the nose.
I saw it on
Sorry, I'll hold
Facebook.
my
Like,
comments.
this is where I came into it. Because somebody had posted all of the screenshots of all
Yes.
of this. There were like 45 pictures
Yes.
of just tweets.
Yes.
And what surprised me is so many people out there were like enthralled by this. Don't get me wrong, I
Yeah.
am too. But you had people from, like, the Natural History Museum in Los Angeles, like, oh, I carbon date things all the time. Bring me these. We'll run a DNA test on it. And then you had some legitimate lab willing to donate equipment for this.
I'm going to tell you right now that the response that he sent on the final response that I saw from him to General Mills was that calling it sugar was super weird, and the fact that you haven't said anything to the contrary doesn't allow me to trust you with it at all. And that's respect to the whole FedEx team picking it up and taking it away and replacing the box. He's kind of running the route here, and I'm going to throw this down right now, and I'm going to say this with the utmost confidence. We talk about childhood nostalgia, and I have taken this on my back enough times from the both of you.
You're still wrong.
From the both of you.
You're still wrong.
Cookie Crisp is hands down the #1 childhood cereal, and you motherfuckers that keep saying it, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, the proof is right here that y'all motherfuckers are eating shrimp tails. Boom. Done.
My issue with your argument is
that's right and you're wrong and you
have
can't handle
to date your Cookie Crisp.
Right.
Since I was born.
It used to be a competitor. It
Yes.
tastes like candle wax now.
Yeah,
That's all it is.
Yeah, but guess what?
Let's
It's 100% candle wax and 0% shrimp tails, baby.
Let's genetically
there's black
test this
spots on
shit.
I'm gonna test every black spot in that bag of Cookie Crisp.
Yeah, chocolate chips.
That ain't chocolate.
Chocolate chips.
There's no way that's
chocolate
chocolate.
chips.
I never tasted chocolate,
chips. You never did? Get your mouth checked.
I taste straight asshole.
Yeah, that's because you probably ate asshole before you ate the fucking Cookie Crisp. It's amazing.
I mean,
I'll give you credit though. Cinnamon
Best
Toast Crunch
part of waking up.
is asshole in your mouth. So
here's looking at you, baby.
I'm telling you right now. I am throwing it down. I'm telling you right now that this Cinnamon Toast Crunch bullshit that we're reading about right now isn't the first time, but it's the only time that someone with the star power can say it. Go ahead, say what you want to say. Say what you want to say.
The Star Power?
Yeah.
Vincent Carp? Okay. Mr. Star Power is a failed white rapper from the early 2000s.
We all are.
Yeah. And so when that went down, and he actually had like a really good album put together from what I can find on the internet.
Sure.
With guest appearances from Kanye West, Redman, Maya, Sugar Ray. Of all people.
Sugar Ray?
Yeah.
That's my guy.
But
so you're telling me that Kanye, Sugar Ray, it rhymes, it sounds good, and maybe didn't do that great, but that's okay.
And then Interscope never released the goddamn record because he was a douchebag.
Yeah, well, sometimes people aren't nice.
So from there, he went on to be a radio personality and then a podcaster, and we all know what kind of douchebag podcasters are.
Yeah, we're total douchebags.
So all of that.
I wear that badge proudly.
Yeah, me too.
And now there's articles coming out where people from his past that he worked with and dated and was associated with are all saying that he's a bad dude and he's seeking attention. He's always been an attention-seeking whore, and this is all a bit.
Well,
that attention paid off.
Yeah,
the only person coming to his defense is Mike Shinoda from Linkin Park, which
which is a #1.
Hashtag Who Killed Chester. That's all.
Oh, 9/11 inside job.
Boom.
So
and then his old coworkers fired back at Mike Shinoda saying, "Well, of course he liked you. You're famous." Which,
that's not.
Speaking of being famous,
yeah,
you want to drop it?
I do.
Oh yeah, he marries into money too.
Yeah, he is married. Oh my god, and my heart's aflutter because we all had a chance. Just because this guy's a douchebag, we all had a chance. He's married to Topanga! Danielle Fishel. I can't believe this dude. Since 2018. We all had a chance.
Looks like he's trying to get in them headlines.
We all had a chance.
Yeah, well, you know what I think should happen?
What?
I think Corey Matthews should go hook up with Miro, and they both go over to his house.
Yeah, that sounds cool. Drive over to his basement, fuck him up. I still say, though, I'm going to stand on, to go back, a man that can marry Topanga also has the reasonable ability to discern between shrimp tails and pressed sugar.
Mm-hmm. And a man that married Topanga can also eat shrimp tails and then throw it in his bowl of cereal the next morning.
But They're all coated and everything. They're
not coated in shit. They look
No,
like they were cooked.
Those are coated.
Those are
No.
coated.
They look like they were coated in marinade.
No.
I really want to be on your side with this because I love.
Oh, do you not own?
Cinnamon Toast
Do you not
Crunch.
own butter, cinnamon, and sugar in your house?
No, we totally do. But you're like, oh
Holy
my god, I
shit.
can't believe
for
that.
$19 million, I'd probably coat them too. Yeah, I'd probably shove them up my ass.
Let's get some cookies.
And you know who I'm gonna shove up? I'm gonna shove it up Jensen Carp. His name is a fish. That's a clue. And one of his old podcasts was like Pistol Shrimp's podcast.
Oh,
He's got a shrimp sponsorship.
He's got Bubba Gump Shrimp. Put
Yeah.
shrimp in all your cereal.
He's gonna be Bubba Dead Carp. Get the fuck off my page, man. Get out of my fucking childhood. I still eat it.
So this won't stop me from eating it.
I was gonna say, I was gonna ask you, is this ever gonna stop you guys from
No.
eating Cinnamon Toast Crunch? Obviously not.
I might just look at the bag a little bit before I fucking pour a bowl.
I'll pour it into because he's gonna get fucking called out here soon.
By who?
Hopefully one of the Paul brothers, because I'll actually root for them over Jensen Carp.
My biggest issue with all of this, though, is just the way General Mills.
They handled it
And
poorly.
shady.
They did handle
Shady.
it.
It's been bad.
They should have
Shady.
just called him a dickhole and moved
Yeah.
on.
Like they sent their social media team
Yeah.
to respond. You need to elevate that a little
Yeah,
bit.
do.
Somebody's calling you out.
Yeah,
for-
nobody needs your college intern tweeting him back.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
I feel bad for that person.
The only time a college intern retweeting anybody worked out was Wendy's. When Wendy's had
Dude,
that.
Wendy's Twitter's fire.
It's just
They
savage.
just smack people.
Yeah. Oh my God. Savage.
Jensen Carp. You know who I hate more than Kenny Omega? Jensen Carp this week.
Really?
Those are big words.
Yeah.
So, is it safe to say?
No, I don't like Kenny Omega. Shut up.
Does he top the Excalibur hate?
No, nobody does.
Nobody does.
So it goes Excalibur,
Yeah.
Mr. Fish.
Yeah.
Well, we'll say Mr. Fishel.
Yeah,
By the
well-
way, I learned something new today.
Yeah.
Oh, Fishel, Carp, Shrimp Tails. People, put the dots together.
Growing up, I always thought it was Fisher.
Yeah.
I thought it was Fishnell.
I thought it was Fisher as well, and then I read the article and I said I better cross reference this because it came from I don't know, News Weekly, I don't know.
Deadspin.
This is just proof that she should have married Corey Matthews, or at worst,
Sean?
that douchebag Sean.
Sean
Yeah.
Hunter. What do you mean douchebag?
He was a doucher.
Come on, man.
He had that.
You fucking elitist.
He was a Jonathan Taylor Thomas ripoff.
Yeah, but he was from
I'd say that was more Eric
It might
Matthews.
have been the other
But
way
he
around.
was
Oh
from-
yeah, Eric Matthews had that bowl.
Yeah.
But I tell you right now, though, man, Sean Hunter came from the trailer park and he threw dick. He pulled down Angela and she was a dime piece.
Sean
don't know.
Hunter.
Was Angela
Fox.
the redhead?
No, that was Rachel. Who?
Does
Not
porn.
Ward. Maitland Ward. Look her up.
Oh dear God, is that what you're trying to bring to my attention right now?
Yeah.
Okay. So the battle rages on.
No, it doesn't. It's dead in my mind. Cinnamon Toast Crunch is the best breakfast cereal. Mount Rushmore's coming, and it's going to be on it.
I would rather eat Sugar Smacks than eat Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
God.
It's so much. He's sweating.
So bad.
I'd rather eat your asshole after Taco Bell than Sugar Smacks.
By the
Really?
way, he pointed to Matt, not me.
Either
My
of you.
asshole is staying
Lines both
dry.
up. We're going to have to cut this part because it's getting too graphic. I wouldn't eat Sugar Smacks if it was my last meal.
Really?
Just fucking kill me.
So okay, because I have that same feeling about a different cereal. Let me ask you: Sugar Smacks or Honeycombs?
Oh, I like honey.
Honeycombs all
Really?
day. Yeah.
I hate.
not great,
I hate
but
the new ones.
they're
I
way
hate the
better.
new.
Yeah, I
it's
haven't had
just
them.
like Cookie Crisp.
I haven't had them in a
They
while.
changed the fucking recipe.
I think. Let's go back into the conspiracy corner. I think they're all starting to taste like wax.
Have we left the conspiracy corner?
Never.
Because the cereal companies are coating them so they don't get soggy.
Well,
I think that's what's happening.
that, and also too, it's easier to mass produce something that can stay longer on shelves.
That's true.
So, and I
You
can
can definitely keep a shrimp tail with your wax.
you can definitely keep shrimp, obviously, because it's in bags of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. So, I think when it boils down to it, I think cereal companies need to step their game up, regardless. I mean, it's really on them. Because
I want to know how far through the box he was, by the way. Because those shrimp tails were
said-
definitely
okay.
settled to the bottom.
No,
He
did
said he
say
had a
opened
bowl.
it, he had a bowl, and one fell out.
yeah,
And then later that day, because he bought them at Costco,
yeah,
he bought the value bag, which you get the two big boxes in the one.
Yeah.
The one bag had the shrimp tails. The other box
had the flaws,
had the clear tape on it, like it had been opened.
yeah.
And then that's where he found more shrimp tails, the brown burnt
Like
shit,
it had been
and
opened
dental
by
floss.
Costco.
That's the thing. He did come out and say he's not completely putting this on General Mills because
well, he can. He needs to see.
Yeah, you don't know.
He needs to see who has more money before he can blame somebody.
I'm going to blame General Mills all day.
The only blame I'm throwing at General Mills.
Too. No, they don't.
What's that?
Don't they make cookies?
Not the post cereal, cuz.
The only shade I
Makes
will
a
throw
ton
at
of
General
sense.
Mills right now is the way they handle it.
Yeah,
Like,
I
that's
totally,
just-
1,000%. All I can say is,
Mr. Mills needed to step
They
in.
should have just brushed off.
yeah,
The comment.
whether or not you like Cinnamon Toast Crunch or not, I do enjoy them. But I will say this, that just check your cereal bowl before you start up, because I think shrimp tails are just finding their way into everyone's cereal these days. Whether you've married into one of the most iconic female actresses of our generation, or if you're a failed white rapper that has failed podcasts too.
My spinning back fist is going to find his way into his face.
I mean, to be completely honest,
Yeah.
I don't even eat any of that anymore anyway.
What's
Like,
that?
Any of like the kids cereals.
Yeah.
You say kids
This month-
cereal?
No, I've completely moved into like for the past couple years.
What,
it's been,
brand?
like- No.
Flakes.
I do either the Special K, but I'm a big fan of like
Yeah.
the Honey Nut Crunch, the oats, Honey Bunches of Oats. That's what it is.
Okay. I feel like that is a step towards adult cereal, but I'm going to tell you right now,
Won't find no shrimp tails in those.
you
granola
won't find
clusters.
shrimp tails in that, because there's actual quality control with those, not like Cinnamon Toast
No, they
Crunch,
get grounded up into the cluster.
which is smart.
Yeah.
and it tastes delicious.
Yeah.
Hide the rat poop.
Pescatarian. So, Josh, you had let me know that you had a little something that you wanted to bring to our attention.
That Jensen Clark's a dead man.
I do. I don't want to portray like I actually did research. 'Cause
Okay.
that's just not who I am.
Right.
You can stumble across things.
I can.
Yeah.
I spent some time on Facebook looking.
Okay.
Looking. So I'm bringing it to the UFC
Okay.
in July.
Yes.
We are going to see a comeback of a certain fighter. One Misha Cupcake Tate
Really?
is coming out of retirement.
Who's she getting her lunch eaten by?
I don't think they've set it up
Exactly what I
yet.
said.
Yeah.
I don't think they've set it up yet.
Is she still going to come out to Katy Perry?
I hope so.
I hope so too.
But the
She
UFC is
fights
waiving
Katy Perry.
the whole 6-month coming out of retirement deal.
Yeah.
Oh, she's getting the Lesnar treatment.
She's getting the Lesnar treatment.
Oh, man.
She's training now and should be fighting on the July card.
And if she fights anybody in the top 15 of any weight division, she's getting owned.
Yeah. I loved Misha Tate when she was in her prime. And now, unfortunately, Misha Tate, you are not.
Unless they bring her back to face Mandalorian.
Oh, Gina Carano.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'd
my
watch
God.
that.
Yeah, I'd
So-
watch it too.
If we're sticking with
Conspiracy theory?
Or
conspiracy
Rousey.
theory
Ronda Rousey.
corners, no.
Ronda Rousey.
But that feud's over. Didn't Rousey beat her 3
Who
times?
cares?
There's
Bring her back.
nobody left.
Don't.
The Lioness,
Oh, You thought
Misha Tate's coming out
You thought me
and
man-
getting fed to the wolves
There's no way.
and putting right back into
There's no way
retirement.
she-
There's
I mean, she's got to
nobody.
be beyond broke to accept that.
Yeah, there's nobody on this planet who has been on the shelf for almost a year that's going to want to come out and get that absolute smoke.
At best, she should be fighting, Holy Home. again.
Toddler?
Yeah. But Holy Home beat her ass
Well,
for 4
oh,
rounds.
Holly Holm
Got
is
caught.
now in a different weight class, so I don't think that fight would happen.
Nobody knows that. You don't know
Yeah.
where Misha's coming back at.
This is true. This
Yeah.
is true.
Although I do agree she should come back at a lighter weight to even stand a chance.
I think so too. I think there's
Yeah,
a
but
lot
coming
of...
back at a lighter weight, she's versing. What the fuck is her
Yeah,
name?
name and name. Svchenko. I can't say it.
Is it Shevchenko's? division?
Shevchenko's the low.
Or
Shevchenkosh.
YN, whatever her name is.
Are you talking about the champion of the division?
Yeah.
It's still the Lioness. She's got 2 belts.
Yeah.
Well, there's four. There's
Champ,
four
champ.
wins.
I think there's only
No,
3.
there's 4 because the one, the champ, the heavier belt she has doesn't necessarily have a division.
Yeah, because she beat them all.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
nobody
well, there's
left.
3 others plus.
They made that division for Cyborg.
Yeah.
They went up there and owned
You've
it.
And
got
then she beat
Shevchenko?
Cyborg's ass.
I can't remember. I could Google it, but YN something is a champ.
Sounds like that shouldn't be a weight class.
Yeah.
Then you've got Amanda Nunes with the champ status. So there's definitely 4 weight classes.
They couldn't fill 3. Why'd they start at 4?
Yeah, I don't understand that either.
because of Chris Cyborg.
Yeah, well...
No, that was the 3rd.
That was the
third.
No, you're right. That was the third. They made the lighter weight class after Cyborg.
I think at this point you're looking at the immovable, irresistible force, the true irresistible force in Amanda Nunes. There's nobody. Tell me who's coming back on the female side, and I want to know if they have a game plan to somehow beat Amanda. That's all I care about. Do you think that you're going to come in here and you're going to beat Amanda Nunes? This is probably the third or fourth podcast, though I've been on with you guys alone, where I'm saying that Amanda Nunes just eats lunches. That's all she does, man. There's nobody fucking left.
There's 4. Like, put her on a diet and she'll take the other 2 belts.
Yeah.
There's 4, and it's fine.
Zhang. Well, I wanted to actually get the girl's name, but Zhang Weili.
Who?
Yeah.
I mean,
Never saw her in a fight.
she's the one that took the belt from Thug Rose.
No, I can't say who about that. I love Thug Rose.
Yeah.
I love Thug Rose like you like Becky Lynch.
Yeah, Thug Rose is
I'm a big Thug Rose fan.
Yeah. She's an absolute assassin.
All right, never
Thug
mind. I
Rose
take
hit me
back
up.
everything I said about that weight.
So, boys, I just want to know right now, Adam, if you could please let the good people at home know what's on tap.
What's on my tap is Jensen Carp. I'm coming for you, brother. I'm coming for you. And Cinnamon Toast Crunch, I'm going to bring that little baker dude from the box. We're coming to your house.
Getting that shotgun, cuz.
But, yeah.
Click.
Anyway,
boom.
so we'll edit that out. What's on tap this week in the
I'm never editing that out.
We got the Kicking Kitty Porter on tap number 1. We're on the second keg of that, so we got a couple more bottles to go out of that one. The Tuckered Stout is about to kick on tap number 2. Tap number 3, we have the Here's Looking at You Kid Cream Ale. It's a 4.4 crispy cream ale with a not crispy beer. That's a cream ale. That has just a hint of Twinkie in it. It's new to the taps this week. Mm-hmm. Let me know if you want to try some. And then at number 4, and we're bottling the rest of it probably tomorrow, Crushed by the Fists of God, the Smoked Russian Imperial Stout, will be on clearance this week.
Ooh, if it's on clearance and you don't get some and you don't get your hands on this, well, I can't. I know that I'm a homer and I know that I work here and I helped brew this beer. I can only tell you that Crushed by the Fists of God is probably one of my favorite Imperials that I've ever had.
Thanks, brother.
Hands down.
No.
Yeah.
I 100% agree.
Yeah.
And then upcoming today is a big day for the Bash Brew family.
Yes.
I'm not saying fam. Bash Brew family. We are doing. I'm too old to say fam.
Yeah.
We're brewing the Jojitorium Honey Double IPA, which is if we would have a flagship beer, if we would have something to put up against anything else, this is the beer.
Yeah.
So it's an Orange Blossom Honey Double IPA that we're going to shoot around probably just a little under 9% is what we're shooting for. And then in 2 weeks for WrestleMania weekend, we're pairing with another home brewer who's a cellar man at Abjuration, and we're going to do a hoppy Pilsner that's not named yet. But we're going to do a super hoppy, like New Zealand hops Pilsner.
Oh, that sounds really good.
That's going to come in at like 5%.
So,
and then after that, we're going to be brewing something up special for Mother's Day.
I will say, I think you're sleeping on one, though, because it's my favorite. Because what are we bottling the Russian for? To make room for the keg,
my
right?
Goodness, I can't believe
yeah.
I forgot. Yeah, in the fermenters right now, and probably hitting the taps next week, is the Drunken Donut.
Yeah.
Which is
Absolute favorite.
a jelly donut milkshake IPA.
Right. And it's a knockout. I mean, I know it's Josh's number 1. It's my number 2.
Yeah, that's going
fair.
That's going in kegs Tuesday.
Yeah.
So
Tuesday evening.
I think your number 1 is my number 2.
Jojitorium.
Yeah, that's my number 2.
Yeah, and my number 3 is the Crushed by the Fists of God, easily.
Yeah, we're hitting the big guys right now because we're gearing up for festival season. We got to make sure these recipes are on point.
But to piggyback off of that, you said flagship beer. You know how to make that a flagship beer, right? Just put some shrimp tails in your cereal and get 19 million.
Drop them right in, and then Jensen can review our beer and then call you out. Then you can be mysterious about it, and then maybe you got a shot at Danielle Official.
I don't even want a shot at her. I want a shot at him. I want to throw a keg at his face.
How much money would you pay?
Broken wrist and all.
Yeah.
How much money?
I'll break. Yeah.
How much money would you pay to go over there and do it? Like, how much money would it take you
to beat up a failed white rapper?
Yeah.
50
How
cents.
much would how much would you have to pay me? How much would I pay to get a shot at him? Oh, I mean, my bank account's pretty low.
Yeah.
I'd take a second mortgage out.
Yeah. I'd sell a kidney.
I'll honestly probably forget about him as soon as we go.
Yeah, probably.
He'll be out of the news by Tuesday.
It will be. It'll cycle out. I mean, it's. But you know what?
Until their divorce.
Yeah, which will happen because you'll finally realize she married a douchebag.
Well, I think Josh would probably settle for her over Becky Lynch. You know,
No,
that's not a settle.
No.
No,
Really?
I mean, I'm saying if Becky Lynch says no go, then
I'm staying celibate.
oh wow,
You're quite a man.
This man loves him some Becky Lynch.
Becky Lynch hit me up.
So if you guys want to know what's going on in the Brew Lab, you know what to do. Hit us up on social media on Instagram at @bash_brew. You also find us on Facebook at the same handle. If you want to get a hold of us, you know our socials. We're at DWTB on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. And if you want to send us some listener emails, you hit us on our Gmail, decayandwtb@gmail.com. And if you want to find out anything about us, all you got to do is #AskAboutThem. We're out there. Get at us. And don't forget, we got stickers.
Hey, cheers, everybody.
Yeah,
Enjoy
cheers.
your shrimp.
All right.
Well, that's it. The end to another episode of Decaying with the Boys. Thanks for tuning in to listen to us. You can find us on Instagram at decayandwtb, and please keep sending in those listener emails, decayingwtb@gmail.com. If you want to continue to find out what's happening in the Brew Lab, follow up with Adam's Instagram page at @bash_brew, and we're always on Untapped at @bashbrew. Until next time.